Hello, everybody. Shavua Tov, and I hope that wherever you are, you're warm and safe. I'm posting this video, which I hope will be brief, because we have our first week of peer moderating, peer teaching online, and Jacob is going to be getting us going. I wanted to respond a little bit to some of the posts that I saw from last week because this week is really focused on the teaching of, and you will be able to debate the various, discuss, share, brainstorm various ways that you might teach this subject of Revelation and what are the possibilities, what are the obstacles, what are the things that you might be afraid of, and so on and so forth. A few remarks. So first of all, is it just the big R revelation at Mount Sinai that we're talking about, or is it the ongoing revelation, the Kol Dmama Daka of Eliyahu? These are questions that don't have complete answers. Certainly, Jewish tradition has a multiplicity of responses. If you see on this announcement from Pirkei Avot, there's a very famous saying that every day a voice goes out from Horeb. That's basically what that Sinai is recapitulated. What does that mean? We might say, as one of the chancellors of JTS, Zichrono Livracha, Louis Finkelstein, was supposed to have said, when I pray, I speak to God. When I study Torah, God speaks to me. So just the act of studying Torah becomes a revelatory event in a very personal or communal manner. So that's something for you to keep in mind. The question of the Belz Hasid, who gave an explanation for the Shoah, is, in my mind, an example of a dead myth. Now, why do I say that? Because, and we will discuss this when we discuss the Shoah a few weeks from now, because for the vast majority of the Jewish people, and that includes people who describe themselves as devout or pious or believing in God, that explanation doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. For example, you'll learn about Yitz Greenberg and some others who will say that any claim about God in the post-Shoah era needs to be able to be said in the face of seeing a little baby thrown into a fire. Now, you could say, well, that happened in the Crusades too. Yes, that's true. We'll get to it. However, I invite you to think about that. And when you see bad things happening and we get to theodicy, we will have to wrestle with that. We will have to deal with that. The final thing that I would like to just share with you is there was a class that I observed Rabbi Gilman teaching. I was writing an essay on him and on his teaching style, and it was a class that actually was on Revelation. So one of the students had a very difficult time understanding what is the content of a non-verbal revelation, the kind that Rosenzweig or Buber would be talking about. And Rabbi Gilman gave the following analogy. He said, imagine that you went with a very good friend or somebody important to you, and you went for a walk on the beach. You didn't say anything, though, to each other. And there was this amazing sunset. You watched the sunset together. You still didn't talk, though. And then you went home and you wrote about what it felt like to watch that sunset and to watch it with another person. So for Rabbi Gilman, the revelation, the revelatory experience is watching the sunset. Torah is when you go home and you write it down and write about it. That's what would be a nonverbal revelatory experience. And then finally, let's keep in mind that the Midrash doesn't only talk about Tachtit Hahar, at the foot of the mountain, as God hanging the mountain over the people and threatening them. It's also offered as a wedding, and this is especially the case already we have King Solomon describing it like that, certainly in Midrash, and there are various ways of thinking about it, that the Torah is the wedding contract, and God is the groom, and Israel is the bride. It can also be that the Torah is the groom, and Israel is the bride. So just let's keep in mind that that's a different kind of relationship. I will stop there. It was longer than I had hoped, and look forward to the discussion this week.